born in Chicago.
Okay.
On the west side, which is Austin area, but is no longer what it was. Lived in the west side all my life. So, my parents were from Ireland. That's my immigrant part. And they married over here. And my mom was a nanny back then. That's all you did was watch the children. She had 2 children. She nannied. And my dad worked for Standard Oil, his first job here, but then he went with Prudential Insurance and was with them for 38 years. So he became a manager.
Very nice.
Yeah, he had 7 of us. I'm the eldest of 7.
Okay.
2 sisters and 4 brothers. And they made sure that we were given what we needed, and we all had the opportunity to go to college.
Oh, very nice.
So I went to Mundelein and then to Loyola. It merged with, well, it didn't then, but I went to Loyola after that. And I taught school for 3 years.
Okay.
And in that time I married Jean. And I didn't go back to teaching after we were married, because back then you couldn't go if you were pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was one of the.
So if you were a teacher and you were pregnant, you couldn't go back to school?
Not until after the pregnancy was over.
Huh.
And then if you were showing, and of course after, well, I went 6 months without showing, but no, you couldn't back then. I wasn't teaching in
Did they have a
Chicago.
reason? Or what was their reasoning?
Well, that was just a rule then. They had a lot of rules,
Yeah.
but I wasn't teaching in the city of Chicago either. My dad didn't like that. I was teaching in a town called Bellwood, Illinois.
Oh, yeah, I know where Bellwood is.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's where I taught.
Oh, okay.
And then I happened to choose St. Simeon, a Catholic school,
Okay.
and it was very good. It was good to me, and it was good.
What were you teaching there?
3rd grade.
Third
I was
grade?
Third grade.
Nice.
I had 52 students.
Very
No aides or anybody else. You had them
Just
from
by
when
yourself,
they came
right?
in, and you left them when they went
Nowadays,
home.
everybody has an aide, right?
Oh, yeah, and then, no, you spent recess with them, you spent lunch with them, you had them. But it was good. There was a lot more discipline among the children then
Oh, yeah?
than there was.
You mean like in the school system?
Oh,
Just
yes,
like
and both, and we're very, very concerned about how well the children did. The biggest thing was that my major was English, but I also had good English background, and I was in basically, a lot of people were Polish, so they all had the
really?
Polish accent, or the twang is what we call
Oh,
it.
really?
You know, I go by my aunt's house, and so when they came to my class, it was amazing. The principal got all these letters saying that
Oh,
it was
yeah?
great that they had somebody that was teaching English, so that was my, you know,
Very
good thing.
nice.
And so, from then, after we married in 58,
Where did you guys meet?
we met at a dance on the west side.
Okay.
And Cicero, and then, let's see, then, after, I tutored, a little boy that summer.
Okay.
And then, after we got married and Kathy was born, we decided then mutually that it'd be best to, you couldn't there was no such thing as sitters and things, and I wasn't gonna make my mom a babysitter.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I had younger brothers. So, we went on from there. We had an apartment, then we bought our first home in Mount Prospect, 1964, I think it was.
Okay.
And then, by then, Kevin was born out in Mount Prospect. The other girls were born in Chicago. And then, 64, and then we stayed there until we moved to Arlington Heights, because we then had 5, and we outgrew a nice home there. We had 4 bedrooms, but we didn't have kids when Kathy and Mary started and Margie started at St. Raymond's in Mount Prospect, but then by the time we moved, Kathy was going to start high school. Kathy was in high school, I guess. Started high school, whatever. And then all the girls went to Sacred Heart, the 3 girls, and then when Kevin and Eileen graduated from Our Lady of the Wayside, and then eventually Kevin went to St. Viator, and Eileen went to Sacred Heart. And then, by then, of course, Kathy's ready to go to college. She started at Harper, she got a scholarship there, and she got her RN there.
Oh, very
And
nice.
she went on and got her bachelor's and started working at Lutheran General in the in the intensive care for babies. Mary then went on to Northern Illinois. Margie went to Illinois State. When Kevin graduated, he went to Northern. And when Eileen graduated, she went to Northern. Kathy, and they all got jobs afterwards. None of them were freeloading off their parents. And then they eventually all got married. Kathy was the first one married. I remember her wedding vividly. It was a very hot day in June.
Yeah.
So we had a time, like 2 hours between the reception and the mass, so we had to set up an extra bar outside because it was so warm. The house would not hold all the people that were gonna stop back, just for drinks and appetizers. And then the others all proceeded to get married. The second one was Mary, the third one was Kevin, and his was down at Notre Dame, it's at the Sacred Heart Chapel, and Margie's was in downtown Chicago at St. Clement's. Mary's was at Our Lady of the Wayside, and Eileen's was at Our Lady of the Wayside. And then my dad passed away in 1973 from cancer, and then my mom would stay with the kids while we were gone because she liked doing that along with her cousin Mary McNamara. And I don't know if you remember her.
Yeah, I remember she lived at the nursing home in our town, so we would go visit
Yes,
her with
okay,
Sadie.
yes, well, that's when she was much younger, yes,
Yeah.
she used to love to be at the house. And then, let's see, Jean retired in 1993, after the last one got married, and then we decided, we had to
Oh,
walk.
I didn't know I retired. Oh, yeah.
You're still working?
Yeah, he is, really hard too. And then, let's see, we had bought a condo in Florida.
Okay.
I can't think of the year that was, but we had it
Very nice.
for a while. And we went in with a partnership. And then when we weren't there, we used to send my mom, because Jane was working, I didn't go down for the season. We would send my mom and her friend down for January and February.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, she loved it. And then we would just do it because she didn't think it was right to spend that money. But the family would give her the airline ticket, and then we supplied the rest of the stuff for her. And then I would go down for the last week, and then Gene would come down for his 2 weeks. And then it was time to go back again. We didn't rent it then. Friends could use it if they were, and what if they're gonna compensate. And then we traded that one in because one came out.
Cause they got the big one,
Bigger,
the
but
corner one.
a really nice view.
Gotcha.
And so we enjoyed that. We went down for the seasons then.
Oh, very cool.
We went down in October,
Mhm.
flew home for the holidays, and then went back in January. So, and then came home in April.
And then we would go visit in March every year.
Pardon?
And then we would visit in March every year.
Every year, yeah, right. And so, that was good. We enjoyed it. We had a lot of friends there, and we still have friends there. And then when Gene he was golfing 3 to 4 times a week.
Oh, that much?
4 to 5 times a week sometimes if there was something big going on. The ladies all loved it because one man had the car, and then the rest, there was always cars for us, but we
Gotcha.
did things together. And agreed, we don't know what's ahead of us.
Yeah.
We don't know how much more care either one of us will need.
Yeah.
But right now, it's okay. And I don't think I want to say that anything's written in stone because we don't. I had a lot of fun jobs after the kids got older.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first job was,
I remember the Irish store.
oh yeah, well that was a fun one. But I worked at Charles A. Stevens, a women's shop,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's out of business now, but it was old, an old established store. And that was fun because you had all the new fashions, you saw. I only worked from, they gave me great hours, 10 to 2.
That's perfect hours.
Yes, it is. The kids were gone and 2 I was home.
Yeah.
And I got a discount. I never brought home a paycheck because 20% discount and having 4 girls. It was fun. And so
They were always dressed nice though, right?
yeah, they did. Yeah. And I also think that when you're into something like that, it teaches you the style, the fabrics,
Yeah.
the texture, colors, you know, what looks good on you. And prior to that, when I was in college, in the summers, I worked at J. Prody and Company, Baron Prody. They were men's, but they had women's fashions on the third floor. They were,
Okay.
women's were not the ulterior, men's were. But I got a job there, and that was good too for the summer.
Very nice.
And that was in selling women's things. And then after Charles A. Stevens closed, then I went to the Irish store in Woodfield, Blarney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that
Oh,
was
very nice.
that was great, you know. And so I had a lot of knowledge of Waterford and Balik and that stuff. So he really liked it, but he also gave me the same hours,
Gotcha. That's
10 to
perfect.
10 to 2, and no Saturdays.
That's awesome.
So, you know, I know I got away with murder. So.
So speaking about the Irish, and especially right now, where is your mother was your mother Irish or your father Irish?
My mother came from Ireland. She was
Okay.
Irish. She was from the west of Ireland, County Mayo, and my father was born in Ireland, in Donegal, in the north of Ireland.
Gotcha.
And so,
And they
both
met over
here.
there and they came over here,
no,
or
they met here. They both immigrated.
how old was your dad when he first came?
My dad was only about 21 when he left Ireland. I think about 21. And I mean, young, really.
Yeah,
And my mother was only maybe 20 when she left. They didn't leave at the same time,
Gotcha.
but they met.
Why did they leave? Was it?
Well, a lot of people were immigrating from Ireland because, number one, jobs were short. Things weren't great, you know. And so the
They'd
big
gone
thing.
through a famine.
A famine, the potato famine that they went through,
famine,
yeah, but
okay.
see, this was after that, but still, and that's why they were coming to America for better, and then, but, you know, my dad explained often that even when they came to this area, but in New York and Boston, and even here, they say Irish need not apply.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was that much,
There was an actual sign that said
Still
that?
going on.
there was problems back then, and
Yeah.
my dad was born in 1900.
Okay.
And my mother was born in 1908. But then after like I said, his first job was with Standard Oil.
Chicago. Why did he pick Chicago, or was he somewhere else before? Like when he first came here to?
Well, he first came in, I believe, through Canada, and came through on the train, you know, he always only talked about Chicago. But he came, there were supposed to be 6 of them leaving,
Okay.
and only 2 came, 2 met. They all,
Really?
well, see, you get cold feet when you're leaving.
It's scary. It
is. Well, think
it's
about
something completely different. You know,
Think
it's
about
like
it.
it's like if we went to for example, China. You
Yeah,
know,
if I went to
Yeah.
a foreign country
Foreign
at that
country,
age, I'd
yeah.
be, you know, nervous too.
and you leaving your family behind.
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody. And my father was leaving brothers and sisters.
So only 2 people decided to go.
2. I like the blues, and I never have, and red has never been one of my favorite colors. Red or orange.
You had a chat with him, or you would want to meet him one day, or wanted to meet them. Who was
Anybody?
Anybody famous or
I think in today's world, I'd like to meet the Pope.
the Pope?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
I do.
Yeah.
I think he's open and understanding, and he's rocking the boat on some issues, and it's good.
Very nice.
What about your celebrity crush?
Pardon?
I said your celebrity crush.
Oh, I don't really have one.
No? What about when you were younger?
Oh, I don't even know if I had one then either.
No?
No, seriously. You know what? Crushes were different when back
It
then.
wasn't like the Beach Boys or something?
Well, that was I was older then. Beach Boys were, yeah, you know, I used to love, you know, in our house, we did not go to a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of family time.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday dinner was a big thing, and we were both, all 3 of us, my 2 sisters and I were both involved in Irish dancing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
So we did that, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And, you know, we had the costumes, and we went to the, they call them feshes now, but we went, you want to call them that, that's what they were. We went to those also, competition.
Okay.
And you would have other schools of dance, there were lots of schools of dancing,
Oh, sorry.
and in Chicago, you know, there were many of them.
Okay.
And we went to Pat Roach, who taught until he was about, I don't know, but he was young when we had him. And on Saturday morning, that's when you went for your lessons. So every Saturday morning, my dad used to take us because my mom
Nice.
didn't drive
Okay.
and really never wanted to drive, but he, you know, that's what we did on Saturday morning.
Maybe you have a favorite place that you visited or one day would like to visit? Where would it be?
Well,
Yeah.
I've been to Hawaii, I love that.
Okay.
Been to Spain, I like that.
Yeah?
We were there on a cruise,
Okay.
and that's when we saw Rome. That was all on our own,
Gotcha.
not that many years ago. And
It was for your anniversary, right? Was it for
the
your-
cruise to, no, that wasn't a special anniversary. We went on a cruise, Bahama cruise, a Caribbean cruise for for our anniversary. We went to Bahamas for our 25th.
But for your 50th, didn't you go to Rome for your 50th?
No, that was, maybe it was 9 years ago. I didn't think it was that long. But anyhow, we did go to Rome. We stayed in Rome for 3 days or 4 days before we went on the cruise. Because that's what the,
Yeah, 4 days.
yeah, that's what the travel agent suggested. Okay, if you go there and you're gonna get right on the cruise, what if your flight's still, she was good that way.
Yeah.
And then, we went, and then on the cruise, we met my cousin in Spain and her husband. They had a place in Spain, and so they drove to meet us. It was in Mallorca, the big one in Spain. She said this would be a prettier city, and it was beautiful. So we spent the whole day with them.
There you go.
And then,
So you think that would be your favorite
no,
place?
I think I'd rather go back. I'd like to, maybe because of where the people are, that I'd like to see again.
Gotcha.
I'd like to go to Ireland and England again.
Gotcha.
We were in England once, when we visited Ann and Tony,
Mhm.
but we saw probably more. We only had 4 days there, because we were going to Ireland for 3 weeks. We weren't partial or anything, but 4 days there, we probably saw more, because they took us around,
Mhm.
you know, to all the places, in places you would never get in, you know, fast.
Okay.
And really, we had, you know, treated us well. And then she put together, in that short period, all the cousins from throughout England,
wow.
and at the house on a Sunday.
Wow.
So that was nice.
That's very nice. Both favorite food and favorite wine.
Well, I don't have a favorite wine anymore, because I
No?
don't drink.
Okay.
And, my favorite food,
Come on.
well, I'm thinking, sweets is one of them.
Yeah.
I guess I would go to chicken.
Chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Grilled, fried,
Nothing fried.
nothing fried?
No, my stomach doesn't like it.
Gotcha.
I might like it, but my stomach doesn't like it. And, probably, grilled, roasted, and I like fish too.
Okay. What's your favorite type of music or artist then?
I like, slow music,
Slow
I
music?
mean, you know, sort of quiet music.
Quiet music?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I don't have a favorite artist in there, because I don't really know them.
Okay. Do you have a favorite book or author?
Well, I have, you know, I've read a lot of Nora Roberts, all the women that are out there for a long time. And who's the other one I can't think of? Oh, jeepers, her name's on my tip of my tongue. And I read all the Mae Binchy books. Yeah, I made
Mom's
it.
favorite too.
I read all of hers,
Mhm.
and even the one that they wrote after she died.
Mhm.
And so, and then, you know, when I was raising the kids, I didn't have a lot of time for reading. I did this in my later years.
Say one good thing about each and one of your kids. What would it be? And
I would hope that each one,
yeah, so if you want to name one and then say something that you are very proud of them.
well, I obviously, we are proud of all of our children.
Yeah.
And I think that's for the fact that they held on to a lot of the values that we had hoped they'd hang on to. And I'm proud of the fact that they don't always agree with each other, but I don't think you can expect that all the time. They're not always gonna be in agreement, but if they can come together when there's a need or a reality that it's something they can all share in, then that's good. And I think the fact that I would like that they become, or they have become, I think, that they have faith, family, and friends. That's to just make it short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice. If you had to choose one favorite grandchild, who would it be?
One favorite
Do you know
grandchild.
who, do you know who
Holy
came up with this
moly.
Oh,
question?
that's an easy one.
Do you know who came up with that question?
Where's, oh, I get it all the time. Oh, I know she came up with it.
that question?
She calls herself. You know Clancy that was just in here?
Yeah.
That'll be it.
Finley over
And then
Clancy.
Finley, you know, Clancy and Finley. And Finnegan, there's three of them
Well,
right
those
there.
those are great grandchildren.
Oh, I know, but I'm gonna treat them as grandchildren. I'm not gonna answer that question. That
Why?
would be mortifying.
We'll turn off the camera.
Don't believe
No,
it.
no. I love them all for who they are, and
Yeah.
they're all wholesome young people.
Okay.
And you know, I admire them for sticking to their guns and pursuing their careers and then being what they are. Because that's not always easy.
Yeah.
They have avoided the scenes that are going on, the you know, drugs and the paraphernalia and everything like that. I think that's difficult
Yeah.
in today's world.
Yeah,
I really do. And I think it's, they've avoided being, you know, charged with DUIs and all that stuff. So that to me makes them 100% wholesome. They don't have to make the most money in the world. Money doesn't buy happiness. They don't have to do that. They just have to be themselves, be happy, and that's it.
So, if you had to say a message to the entire world, what would that message be?
Treat another person as you would like to be, as I would like to be treated. Treat them with respect, honesty, and love.
Very nice.
That's a good one.
I love it. Thank you very much. for
You're
the
very,
interview.
very welcome.
Thank
Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I taking a little bit of your time. Hopefully
No,
you weren't
that's-
doing anything, that.
Oh, I was so
Taking away.
busy. Oh, wait, I'll never get caught up doing anything, God,
But
no.
just understand.
Family.
Family, the people that we love, especially,
It's very interesting.
show a little bit of appreciation for, our grandparents, for, the people that have been here before us, and kind of just try to get a little bit of knowledge passed down and
Well, that's why,
understanding.
we can't be so critical of all the immigrants today, because this country is made up of immigrants.
Yeah,
Everybody came from somewhere,
yeah,
and agreed, not everybody is perfect.
yeah,
But not every American born here is perfect either, there wouldn't be all these shootings
yeah,
in downtown Chicago,
yeah,
because most of the people that are involved in that were born here.
yeah,
But, I know, you can't go back and blame
yeah,
their grandparents and great-grandparents for what they're doing.
yeah.
We all have a conscience and we all have a free will, so they're opting to go that route.
Yeah.
That's what I think that, when temptation comes, you have to be ready to say,
No.
I can't do it. And that's why you walk away, when you see young people walk away from something that they don't want to be involved in, you have to admire
They start kind of thinking a little bit differently and understanding certain things a little bit
Okay.
different. Because I know sometimes social media, the internet and TV is kind of sometimes doesn't show women in a positive light. And I kind of want to change that perspective and find out and show the next generation, think about your actions, the words that you say can sometimes, I'm not saying perfect, but sometimes, things that I say to Bridget aren't, the perfect thing to say sometimes, or, sometimes it just takes a second to just listen instead of kind of,
Well, that's always,
you
that's
know,
probably one of all of our mistakes.
yeah,
We don't listen
exactly,
before, when the person says that they're not
Yeah.
hearing what you're saying, they're thinking of something
Yeah.
else.